Good morning, fine of the day. Look what day it is.
I want to give you a top tip. Haven't even got my boots on yet. Be ready. You can be ready even as you're pulling your boots on. Stuff can happen. It's happened to me loads of times. Where I'm stood now, outside my car, this lay-by, I have seen and heard numerous species. Green shank last year. Didn't see it the first one that went over, just heard it. That was my year tick. About 5 days later, another one went over. Just watching the first red kite for the morning, looping in from the north. It's 13th of March. I'm going to Lee Farm. See what's happening. Still a bit flooded, but as you can see, it's not proper light yet. About an hour-ish to see if we can make history repeat itself. We don't have a set but nice. Right. Anyone who either is or watches YouTube videos knows that most YouTubers have an introduction and a bit of music, and they usually go into, "What's up, buddy? It's so-and-so here. In today's video, I've got this coming up. Da, 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 da. Let's dive on in." I've even said it myself. I've already started using things, expressions that get used a lot. But I just thought this morning, woken up in a silly mood. And so I'm going to have a little laugh about it. Coming up in this video, I have absolutely no idea. So you better watch to the end because you just never know what's going to happen. That's birding. That is patch birding. But eventually, I'm going to have the opportunity to do live streaming. So it's going to be interesting how we structure this stuff. Just wanted to stop for this one. Calls and songs. It's a wren. The sharp call's a wren. Probably just as likely you're picking up the robin above. Or will be, there you go. That's a nice opportunity. So we'll focus on this male and female Wigeon for the moment, and hopefully above the din of the black-headed gulls you can hear the occasional which is the Wigeon call. Do ducks sing? I suppose it's all song in some form to them. It's all communication. So I'm having a little gather outside of the hide. So I'm going to have a little scan around, see what's moving, if anything. Check the lake, see if we've got a sand martin flicking around. Check the landfill, see if we've got a wheat here. Better do it quick because the sun's just hit the horizon. And there's a little bank of cloud. It's just going to slip under for a few minutes. So you can contemplate the sunrise like I like to. I'm a sucker for a sunrise. That's for sure. This dude had a bit of a scuffle with another male. Still his body language still says, I'm better, choose me. The other male's saying the same thing. I think this is the one that means business though. Don't think she's interested, bud. I think she's found her husband. So when you're, it could be when you're filming, certainly while you're scoping, stuff could be flying over. You know, you tend to look like this or like this through our telescopes. So we're peering through, and while we're doing that, there's every possibility stuff's going through. I only just caught the 3 little egrets. And it's just what you don't know. It doesn't hurt you, I suppose. But of course, if you find out later, or something comes up on our WhatsApp group, great white egret just flew over levels, and you think, going south, and you think, oh, that's just living perfect, isn't it? I must have been looking at the Wigeon or whatever. Happens a lot to all of us. So you just got to take it as it comes and just do your best to be vigilant. I'm going to scan the bank now with my scope and see if I can pick something up. So that's a tranquil scene, isn't it? That's just at the back of our southwest corner. There are more gathering Wigeon. I'll say that again. There are more Wigeon gathering in the southwest corner. It's, well, I mean, the water's barely dropping, to be honest with you, but either way, it will drop if it stops raining. And maybe it's, oops. The Wigeon are all spread out along the edge here, look. Not many teal in there. I remember saying quite recently that Gadwall are quite a handsome duck, and male in the foreground, vermiculated or barred, fine barred, greyish plumage, black in the wing, white on top of the wing. Oh, it's really on top of it, but forget proper terminology. Did you see that little flash of chestnut there? Female's asleep in front of her partner, and they've all gone back to sleep. Most of the time, you don't have to even look carefully to see that little outer eyelid, excuse me, inner eyelid, often opens, and they're always keeping an eye out. In front of him, In front of him is this chap. Alright, just been looking at Wigeon, but this is more like what they do. Bit of grazing. Hopefully the focus is just right enough and there's enough light to see that barring. Grey. What a beautiful grey that creates. I had a quick scanner along the lake edge and there's no obvious lake edge out on the far side because the water level is still too high. But red shank don't always call. A lot of the time they do, but not always. We haven't got them as a successful breeder yet. I haven't had them successfully breed for quite a few years, in fact. But I had a little pan around, checked the vents for wheat here, and they often get on the path just east of the lake edge on the far side there. And so with the time I've had available this morning, March the 13th has not so far produced anything amazing, but who's to say it won't later. Canada's jumped up on the bank and woke the Gadwall up. They're staring at least. And you can make out the chestnut on the female's flank there. It's on the folded wing, it's not on the flank at all, but that's where it appears when the wing's folded, of course. So, the top tip today, if you like, is check your lake edges. Always keep your eyes peeled for stuff going through. Check all your ducks and check all your gulls. I mean, I always say check everything, and I do mean that. But check all your perching posts. If you're lucky enough to have a piece of sort of open land like we do, the landfill, check your high perching posts. That could be a thistle, a bit of teasel, an old twig, you name it. Just check those things that are sort of standing higher than others. It's the sort of places that a wheatear or some other passing migrant might perch on. And yeah, not that it's necessarily the most exciting thing to find the first San Martin, but I get a kick out of finding, migrants that have just come in, taken the trouble to fly 4,000 or 5,000 miles. I think it's wonderful to welcome them. Just in case I haven't said it, it is obvious to me, but male's on the left, female's on the right. She's much more sort of rich browns, of course. But, feeding in harmony. And more fighting. So that's it for this little trip. Pre-work. Gotta get back. As soon as I came out of the hide den, Jetty's warbler called behind me. I can't tell you when I'm going to catch a bit of footage of that. Can you hear that chiff chaff now? haven't got time to video it, but it's the song that everybody really knows, because it sings its English name. So if you don't know any other song yet, start with Chiff Chaff. Have a good day.